Good morning, ma'am. I am Annabel Valencia Permejo from ESTI Block. So, key features of culture. We have 9 cultures, which are: culture is learned, culture is social, culture is shared, culture is transmitted, culture is continuous, culture is accumulative, culture is integrate, culture is changing. Last, culture varies from society to society. So, culture. So, ibig sabihin yung mga paniniwala natin. Culture na adapt natin sa dati nating mga ninuno. So, iba-iba man ang ating lingwahe, is iisa pa din ang culture na na-adapt natin or pinaniniwalaan. So, first, culture is learn. The first of a child is her family. Culture has to be taught by someone. It is learned through constant practice, reminder, and action. The elements of culture, such as beliefs, ways of life, and languages, can be learned and shared together and create lasting and powerful relationships. A community with people or varied cultures can learn from the culture of another community or people groups. So, culture. Saan ba tayo unang natututo? Siyempre sa ating pamilya. Kasi mula pagkasilang pa lang natin, mula pagkaluwal sa atin ng ating magulang, sila ang una nating nakikita or nasisilayan. Sila yung magtuturo sa atin ng what is right or what is wrong dito sa mundong ito. So next, culture is social. A person needs to interact with other people for culture to be transmitted. It cannot be kept in a cabinet. Hindi daw tinatago yun sa cabinet or hindi ito tinatago, nilalabas ito. Binabahagi natin ito sa ating next generation. Nor be keep a secret from the members. No more you interact with other people, the wider your appreciation for things, values, and concept will be, and the more it will live on. In many instances, if the reason for the practice is not explained well, then succeeding generation may not appreciate this practice anymore. So culture is social. So from the word itself, social, it means kailangan nating makisalamuha sa iba't ibang tao para matutunan natin ang iba't ibang kultura na ating tataglayin. Next, culture is shared. Culture is not something that an individual can pass to a person but is shared by a common group of people in given area. Various elements such as arts, language, religion, values, and beliefs are all shared by one person to another, such as members of a family or a community. A group of people, several households, a barangay, a district, a city, a province may share some of elements of culture. So, culture is shared. Hindi daw natin ito maibabahagi agad-agad. Sa iba, kailangan natin itong ituro or ipaintindi sa kanila para lalo nilang maintindihan or hindi nila agad malimutan ito. So next, culture is transmitted. The transmittal of culture can be done through practice, written form or verbal form, form or verbal form. The patriarch or matriarch of the family is the holder of the family practices. So, yung atin daw mga nanay at tatay, sila yung mag-a-adapt sa atin na mga anak ng mga kultura, sila magpapaintindi, sila magtuturo, sila magpapaliwanag, sila ang magiging guide natin para sa mga kultura natin dapat matutunan at alam natin ang mga kulturang yon. So, yung mga magulang natin ang ating magiging guide para malaman natin ang mga kultura na ating tatahakin sa mundong ito. So next, culture is continuous. The transmission of the culture elements of one group must be continuous from one generation to the next. Understanding the basis of the practice is critical as it explains the rationale, 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 rationale for the practice. In some communities, there are attempts to revive a certain elements of the culture after its absence in some years. It is revitalized version. It may not be authentic as the original and it may take several years from the restored practice to achieve a level of committed practice by its community members. So, culture is continuous. Ang kultura, ang kultura, wag natin puputulin kasi kailangan natin ituro ito sa next generation natin. Huwag natin ito iwawala sa ating isipan, huwag natin ito lilimutan, at huwag natin ito aalisin sa ating buhay kasi ito na yung kinagisnan natin. Kultura, ito yung kinagisnan natin mula pagkasilang natin, ito na yung susundin natin kultura. So, huwag natin lilimutan at i-adapt pa natin sa ating next generation. So, next. Culture is accumulative. With so much history in any society, there is bound to be changes in culture as compared to when it was initially practiced. The intensity is dependent on many things: the commitment of its followers, the number of followers, its documentation, the rationale of the practice altogether. As a result of culture being transmitted to several people through several years, there will be changes due to the current situation in the community. So, mas maganda pa din yung naa-adapt ng next generation yung kultura dati. Kasi sa totoo lang, yung kultura natin ngayon, mas maganda yung kultura dati kaysa sa ngayon. Kasi yung kultura ngayon parang hindi na maganda siyang hindi naman as in hindi maganda, parang mas maganda pa rin yung kultura dati kesa sa ngayon. So next, culture is integrated. Common practices being people together. It is a way of sharing with others and making it easier for people to understand or give preference to others who share a common practice. There are many practices that are uniquely undertaken by a group of people. They can easily be identified as common from a particular region or province. It is a part of their life from birth to death and all the events that happen in between, especially events such as Holy Week, differ from region, and this can be seen in the way that we celebrate it. In other countries, Holy Week is also celebrated differently. Next, culture is changing. With the intersection of many barriers across time and people, culture is bound to change. Developments in technology, government, culture, laws, other elements, and even in people will give rise to changes in culture. For example, they may be more effective and more efficient ways of doing something very traditional such as weaving and design from the handloom versus a machine that can do the same in a shorter time. He machine may even use different trends, resulting in the change of the code. Changes must be acceptable to the group who owns the original and its members are happy with the change. Then there can be change. Sometimes, however, this can result in quarrels among the members of the group and may result in the division of the community. In some instances, this can create new beginnings or new communities. Last, culture varies from society to society. Of the many subgroups in a society, each one brings their own culture mindset to a bigger community, except that there will be similarities and may unique practices within a given community and among the different cultures also. Given these features of culture, a tourism professional should be aware and liberal in considering the uniqueness and similarities of their collages and customers in the workplace. A tourism professional should be very understanding, open-minded, and does not insist on the cultural beliefs or practice on other people. So, yan yung 9 key features of cultures. So, sabi ko nga kanina, ang culture ay kailangan natin i-adapt. Ang culture, wag natin alisin. Ang culture ay kailangan nating ipasa for the next generations. Kahit iba-iba tayong lingwahe, iisa ang ating culture. Thank you.